Hey everyone, it's Steele Walker and welcome to Respiratory Rescue. And today I am coming to you via film. So I am kind of in the background lurking, but I want you to see how it would be if we streamed a video that I went ahead and taped, then went live on Zoom and Facebook, and then come back on at the end and answer your questions. So we're trying out, this is uncharted territory, so fingers are crossed that everything's going to work, and we'll see how the format works for you guys as well. So welcome to today's class, and what we're going to do is we're going to review the rib cage, okay? And the other day we started in the lower rib cage, but we'll just kind of go through diaphragm and rib cage again. Some of you, again, we worked on sternum and thoracic spine, and you might have been a little bit bruised or sore from that. Again, that's normal, and it should resolve by today or tomorrow if it was on Tuesday's class. So what we're going to do, again, we talked about how the lower ribs, they are calipers, they move this way, and then the middle ribs, they move this way, and then the top ribs actually move this way. So I'm going to tell you something that you may or may not know. You know when you go to massage somebody's shoulder and you feel like this big knot? That's usually your first rib. And for a lot of people, that first rib is elevated because of stress, and that can cause tension in our neck, tension in our headaches, and everything else. So I'm going to show you a technique to resolve that today as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started like we normally do. So what we're going to do is test our ability to breathe in maximally and breathe out maximally, so we have a before and after. So remember, we want to be in proper alignment. What is proper alignment? That is going to be sternum over pubic bone, okay? Sternum is the flat part of your chest, starting from right where the collarbones come in, straight down. Pubic bone you find by putting the heel of your hand over your belly, sinking down till you find bone. That's one way. The second way, hand goes on the abdomen, you look down, feel the hands push out, and then you lift your head up. Either strategy is fine. You can do this in standing or sitting. Ready? Set. Go ahead and breathe in as long as you can. And now exhale, slowly. I'm like turning red and shaking. I really pushed myself today. All air out. Woo! Yeah, that was a good one. Okay. So you guys should have a time. Now the next thing we're going to do, we always check the diaphragm. Why? The diaphragm's the most important. So find the diaphragm. Again, it's at the bottom of the breastbone, right? And to find it, a lot of times, remember you come in the middle. This will be tender on a lot of people because this is where your esophagus goes through your diaphragm, actually. And so particularly if you have some digestive problems, that will be an issue. So I'm going to be on it. I'm going to go around my imaginary clock. I'm finding the direction. I take my stabilizing hand, do a pledge of allegiance, depress, bring my fingers on a diagonal toward the ceiling, or my heel on a diagonal toward the floor, and I will bend forward and back and forward and back and forward and back, or side to side. I can combine this with an inhale. I can go ahead around the world. Whatever you choose, 5 to 10 times, and then we move on. So we can go side to side and really get in there. And then we will, still a little bit tender on my right, so I'm going to get into, I'm really digging under here. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to go around my imaginary clock, find my direction that's most tender, place my hand on Pledge of Allegiance, and depress. Bring my fingers up toward the ceiling or down, figuring out which one makes that tender spot lessen. For me, it's up. And again, I can breathe in and out as I move, or Just breathe out, in and out stationary. If I want, I can move my legs, particularly if I am on the floor, side to side. I could cough. Ooh. It really popped out there. Okay, so now I'm going to go a little bit more toward the outside. And again, left is loosey-goosey, right? Going to get in there, find my tender spot, depress, go away, toward, and then go ahead and do my motion. And if you're watching this not live on tape, you can go ahead and press pause and just continue on the diaphragm, right, until you hit that pointy, floaty rib right there, also tender on me. That I think has that has 11 muscular attachment points, a lot. So getting into that rib and then going into those bottom 2 ribs that are going to be sticking out. And continue to do the comprehensive core release technique for those areas. Again, rotation, side bending, circles, extension, flexion, breathing, coughing, leg movement, you choose. It's up to you. It does not matter. The movement does not matter. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and release the rib cage. So we can feel into the ribs along the side, okay? And I just thought of an old patient that I had who had a very high pain tolerance, and ribs were really tender on him. And the reason being, I'm just going to lay out for a bit, is because the ribs, like the feet and the cranium, are not often addressed by manual therapists in all dimensions. Not all of them, but many of them don't go there. So that's why these structures are so exquisitely tender when we're palpating them, because they've never been released. So once you find your spot, you go around your imaginary clock, find your direction, Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, this way is down for me, and then I can go up and down. I can flap my wings. I could breathe in and exhale. I could move around as I breathe in and exhale, and breathe in and exhale, and breathe in and exhale. Coughing. Whatever you want to do. You're limited only by your creativity, guys. So now we're going to go up the next few ribs. And again, ribs can be tender in the back. That's when you get that like stitch in your back. And I actually shot a YouTube video on this years ago where, and maybe I'll post it on the site. If you get a stitch in your back, you know, that cramp, like, oh, you know, whatever, it's a muscle, you can't get rid of it. And you try like rolling on a ball, and you try maybe pulling the cane in there. All you need to do is you can go around to the side of your body and feel for that tenderness, okay, in between the ribs that are at that same level. You can even come in front. If it's high up, you can even come in front. And I found that is most effective. And like I said, I will go ahead and include that link at another time. Okay, so we're going ahead and we're finding, again, me, all right side, until I'm very right-handed. Okay, so I found my spot. Going around my imaginary clock, I find my direction, Pledge of Allegiance, and moving with breathing, rotating, going around, however you want to go ahead and release. And we're going to continue. Now we're really getting into some good stuff here. Armpits, guys, so tender, especially if you have shoulder problems. So I'm going to show you from here, since this is my spot. So I'll just put my hand here, and I'm going to go around my imaginary clock. I'm going to now stabilize with this hand because it's free. You don't need to do that, guys. You can go back here. But for the sake of showing you how versatile this technique can be, I'm going to put my hand here. I'm going to depress in. I'm going to go away or up toward the ceiling. Ceiling is better. I'll breathe in and I'll exhale. And I can breathe in and exhale. And I can breathe in and exhale. and then I can move all the way up into my armpit or come forward and do all the ribs here. So why don't you press pause and go ahead and address any of the ribs from down here to up here on the side or in front. As far as the back is concerned, yeah, welcome back. But as far as the back is concerned, you can do like we did in last class, whereas you put a ball behind you and go ahead and then you roll about the ball, right? Because the ball is, you're now kind of the releasing tool moving around the imaginary clock, where the releasing tool is stationary. The other thing, again, if we have a cane, we can go into the various different rib areas on the back side of the body. And again, I'm just testing here, okay? And it feels pretty good because oftentimes, and I'm not really sure of the mechanism why, but oftentimes by addressing the issue on the side or in the front will oftentimes resolve the issues in the back, which is why I shot that YouTube video. Okay, now remember I talked about this muscle knot that we call, right? So what we can do to alleviate this, and this is something that we can also do on the floor, so I will maybe show that a little bit later, is we'll get into that tissue and we'll feel that spot. We'll go around our imaginary clock. We find the direction. We stabilize. And then we can move our head. Side to side. Around. However you want to do it. You can move the arms. Breathing again. Whatever you feel is most appropriate for you, and then again, what is most functional. If you want to improve coughing, you cough. If you want to improve breathing in, you breathe in. If you want to improve exhalation, you breathe out. So again, going ahead and incorporating those factors. So you can go ahead and press pause and continue on to the lower ribs. So here's a bonus surprise that I have for you. I am going to show you my personal morning routine with regard to breathing. So I shot a video a few days ago. I'm wearing different clothes. So we're going to take a look at that. That's about 2 minutes. It's done on the floor with a pillow. And feel free to go ahead and set up and join me. And then I will go ahead and see you on the other side when I come back and come on to Zoom live with you guys at probably about 11:45 or so. So enjoy the video. Put your questions up. I look forward to answering them or any other questions that you might have. So we'll see you soon. Ciao.
Hey guys, it's DL, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you the routine that I practice for breathing. I do this first thing in the morning, if I need to tune in during the day, maybe after a meditation, and then before bed at night. So again, I'm tuning into my breathing. What I like about it is that it really utilizes that maximization of our breathing system. And so I wanted to go ahead and share it with you. So lying down, I usually do this on my bed. And I take my hands and I pretend that I'm laying on the face of a clock. So my pelvis is in the middle. My hands are the hands of the clock. So when I'm lying, what I'll do is I will reach around and I'll breathe in as I'm going up all the way to touch each number of the clock and all the way around and stretch as far as I can. And then I'll exhale. All the air out. And I'll repeat this 3 times. Then I just reverse it, reaching down 3 times, and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Then I go ahead and switch sides so that I get both sides of my rib cage rotating and reaching. So again, I start down here probably at about 5 o'clock. I start going up, inhale, and exhale. All air out, inhale. All air in, exhale. All air out, inhale. All air in, exhale. All air out. And reverse, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And that's it. So that is my routine for maximizing your respiratory system in a manner with which that you're incorporating that range of motion that we talked about, right? Because we're trying to do that with the release, as well as incorporating conscious breathing of a full inspiration, but more importantly, let's not forget about the full breathing out. So I hope you enjoyed that. If so, give it a like, share it with people, do what you do on social media, and be sure to check me out on fixyouonline.com, on Facebook, DL Walker Consultant, or the group Fix You Online. And for more information on my breathing class that I'm doing during the COVID crisis right now, you can join us on Fix You Online's Respiratory Rescue. So until next time, take good care of your body and your spirit, because it's the only true home you really have.